Shalom. All praises, all power, all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach well and rule well, who taught me this truth. Peace. Salutation to the Hakyam, the fellow laborers, the hopeful elect, pushing this truth at risk of their own lives through the four corners of the earth. To the Akwath listening and learning sincerity, and the truth and the silence, shalom. This is your brother Shema from the GMS Toronto camp here in Toronto, here with another lesson. Right? And we see, this headline, and this Esau is about to show his perpetual, we'll get that when we're willing, Ezekiel 35, his perpetual hatred for his twin brother Jacob, right? And this story came out of a Mississippi student, Delta State University, right? This Mississippi student hanging from a tree, right? And upon further reading, they're saying it's suicide, officials, but news is coming out that this man had injuries, 2 broken arms and a broken leg, or is 1 broken arm and 2 broken legs, one way or the other, I can't recall, right? But Esau Edom is about to show his true hate, and we see the civil unrest brewing, right? And Esau is going to, right? Because even if Jake is not to blame for the reason the civil unrest is brewing, Esau's going to channel his anger and his frustration in the direction of Jake, and this is just the beginning of Jacob's trouble. This is the Lord's judgment. Right, I wanted to get Ezekiel 35. Right, Ezekiel 35. Ezekiel 35, verse 4, it reads, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, right? Perpetual, meaning forever, from antiquity, right? Listen, Jacob and Esau, when Isaac and Rebekah were about to when Rebekah was about to bear twins, and they were struggling inside her. This goes back, right? Them 2 twins, Jacob and Esau, were Salakia, were having a death match within her womb. Right? Perpetual hatred, right? And has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end, right? And Esau's always been Salakia, been extreme when it came to inflicting harm on Jake. Right, and we're going to see, going in the time of Jacob's trouble, right? We're going to see more and more instances of this headline that came out, man. Right? What we know about the hanging deaths. Oh, there was 2 men. Okay, what we know about the hanging deaths of 2 men in Mississippi. You see that? I was going in this lesson in spirit on the one man from the university. 2 men, right? Investigations are ongoing after the hanging deaths of 2 men were reported Monday in Mississippi, right? The deaths were reported on the campus of Delta State University in Cleveland and in Vicksburg cities, which are more than 100 miles apart. The victims were identified as 21-year-old Demetravion Trey Reed, a black student at Delta State, and Corey Zucatis, a white man. Investigations into both deaths are ongoing. Rumors and speculation about the incidents have spread on social media, likely fueled by Mississippi's painful history of racist violence in the Jim Crow era. The deaths of Reed and Zucatis were not related. Reed's body was found around 7 a.m. Monday, hanging from a tree on the Delta State campus. The next day, civil rights attorney Ben Crump announced he had been retained by Reed's family. Right, so one was a Jake, and the other was a white man. Right, but the fact of the matter is, right, Jim Crow era is known for lynching, right? And Mississippi, down there in the South, that hatred was not hid, right? The South is known for harsh racism, open racism. Right? The further north you get, the more concealed it gets, the more hidden. Up here in Canada, there's racism, but it's hidden. It's not in your face, right? It's not in your face. Esau up here in the north, you know, up here in Canada, he's more of a serpent. He'll smile with you, you know, but he hates you. He wants to hang you from a tree, but he'll smile with you. He'll use words smoother than oil, smoother than butter. But war is in his heart, in his hands. Right? Matter of fact, let's get that. Psalms 55. Psalms 55. Psalm 65:21. The words of his mouth, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Right? Esau will always use his serpent capabilities, his serpent attribute, and you know, he'll smile with you. All is good. You know, he'll ask you about your family, co-worker Esau, supervisor Esau. He'll ask you about your family, call them by names. Little Johnny, your wife, Mr. Lucky, your wife, Michelle. Right, but he don't give a fuck. He'd hang you from a tree in an instant, man. Right? And when all hell starts to break loose out here, and civic laws start to go out the window, you're going to see Esau's true horns. Right? But it's the Lord, let's close. It's the Lord using Esau Edom to punish Jake. Psalms 17. Nothing too long, just going into it. Psalm 17 and 13. We'll read from 11. And it reads, and this is a Psalm of David. A prayer of David. Right? Psalm 17 verse 11. Psalm 17:11. They trap me down and surround me, watching for the chance to throw me to the ground. Right. And that's Esau, man. I was watching the alleged cousin of the victim on social media speak. And listen, all they're saying is the same. All Jake is saying is the same shit. Why is this happening? This is 2025. Listen, man. Right? It's not. It's spiritual, right? And the scripture came to mind because he's like, oh, justice needs to be Salakia. Justice needs to be. We need justice. Zechariah 11 and 5. Zechariah 11 and 4. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, my power, feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, right? Whose possessors slay them, right? We are in the hands of our oppressor. We are in the hands of the Edomite. We are POWs, right? Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, right? They go to court, found not guilty. It was a suicide, right? It was a suicide. No foul play, right? And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord Yahweh, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not, right? And that's the mindset of Esau, begin with his elites, right? Remember the Jacob was sold, the transatlantic slave trade, Jacob was sold, buck broken, right? And Esau used the slave Bible and said, we are rich. The Lord is blessed. The Lord has blessed me. I am rich. And their own shepherds pity them not, right? And your civil rights activists don't give two fucks about you, Jake. It's all about the bag, right? You Jesse Snakes and you, then the whole civil right movement, right? Back in the Psalm 17:12 NLT, they are like hungry lions eager to tear me apart, like young lions hiding in ambush, right? And Esau is eager to tear apart Jake, man, and he can't wait for civil unrest to show his true nature, his horns. Psalm 17 and 13 KJV. Arise, O Lord Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword, right? So the sword of the Lord on the left-hand side, the Edomites, right? The only thing that's going to save the elect in that day is the hedge of protection, the spiritual mark of exemption, the Thawa, right? These death angels are going to be, listen, spirits created for vengeance are going to be hopping on Edomites. Right? Verse 14, from men which are thy hand, right? The sword of the Lord on the left-hand side, Edomites. From men of the world, which have their portion in this life, right? And Esau's blessing is the sword, and Esau's blessing is the fatness of the earth, right? His portion is in this life. And whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure, they are full of children and leave the rest of their substance to their babes, right? Their belly is filled with thy hid treasure, right? They have all the relics, the artifacts. Right? They're also devouring Jacob, his twin brother. leave the rest of their substance to their babes, right? Generational wealth. And that's Esau, man. Right? But the Lord is about to put forth horrific judgments on the 2/3 of our people, right? Because these things that are happening, these judgments are for the 2/3. All right, these judgments are for the 2/3, right? These judgments are for the 2/3, right? What's that scripture in Sirach 30? Sirach 30. Sirach 40. Sirach 40. Verse 8, such things happen unto all flesh, both man and beast, right? Judgments. Everyone gets judged. And that is sevenfold more upon sinners, right? Sevenfold complete among sinners. And 2/3 of people, they've sinned against the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahshai. They're committing spiritual fornication, right? Both physical and spiritual, right? They do everything contrary to Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai, right? You were Israelites, right? And until you realize that, right? Until Yahweh Shai returns and sets things up in righteous, sets things up, until Yahweh Shai returns. Sets things up in righteousness. This is going to continue to be the plight of Jacob. Verse 9, death and bloodshed, strife and sword, calamities, famine, tribulation, and the scourge. Right? These are all judgments. These things are created for the wicked, and for their sakes came the flood, right? So the Lord's going to judge 2/3 of our people more and more horrifically, more and more obvious. People out here are going to be like, wow, that's effed up, right? So crying on social media, you know? But yeah, that's it on that. Call Allah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone and teaching of Ruah. Shalom to the elect.